Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Okay, well, first I have to start off and say happy belated, beautiful World Day for those with Down syndrome. Because, yesterday was World Down Syndrome Day. So it's like I'm going to be doing I keep saying I'm going to be. My mind is full of so many ideas, and I still need to publish or finish and publish my novels. Yay, and get my greeting cards officially up on Etsy. Yeah, and there's so many other projects and things that I'm working on to get, and I have to finish my website. The more I talk and list everything, the more I feel like I'm gonna have a panic attack. Yay me! The way to celebrate a Saturday. But anyway. Well, if this is your first time listening to me, I am the handicapable black woman. I am a woman with a disability, and now it's crazy that I am saying words that are banned on government websites. Disability. Isn't that a scary word? Disability. It's like how in black. So half of the title or half of my okay, when I say identity is what I'm born with, some things I cannot change. There is so much more to me, but when you see me, you see I am black. You see I have a visible disability, so you are going to see my disability. So half of my visible identity is banned from the government. Like when I kept telling people the orange man hates me. I kept saying MAGA hates me. I kept saying certain Republicans hate me because you don't have to be MAGA to hate me, but most Republicans do. A lot of Republicans say, "Oh, those with disabilities, they just need to stay at home. They just need to go to work." But then you took away DEI. You take away DEI. A lot of company I was already having a hard time back in the day when I first graduated college trying to find a job. I was undiagnosed, but my walking was getting worse, and companies kept asking, "Why do you walk like that?" And then even during the interview, they would slide in very inappropriate, awful, stupid, arrogant, ignorant, poorly uneducated questions. But then it's almost like they forgot. If I'm here for a business position, yeah, because my minor was in business, but I got my MBA in internet marketing later. But when I first, after my bachelor's, I was working for work, and my bachelor's is in English, so with writing that book, the symbolism, the metaphors, and the foreshadow. Oh, I'm working on some foreshadowing right now. Like you won't oh yeah, okay, I'll talk about that later. I'll talk about that in a different episode or whatever, because off topic. But I'm messy. You guys know my YouTube channel is as messy as my life. But anyway, it's like with DEI and everything like that. It's like, and then having a business minor, now MBA, it's like they forget. You have to take HR. You have to take human resources to get the degree for the most part. So if I took that, that means I learned a lot about the legal portions of HR and questions that you are not allowed to ask. And around 70 to 85% of job interviews, they asked me illegal questions. They asked me questions you are not supposed to ask me. Or they slid in comments that were very rude and stupid, and just to the point where I gave up. Because once you say, "Ha ha ha, the way you walk, we don't have an elevator, you wouldn't make it up here every day." Or, "Ha ha ha, you're so pretty, why would you allow yourself to walk like that?" Yeah, both at job interviews. But so people don't understand the prejudice, the bigotry that I already face in with jobs, and the racism. Oh, I go, because yeah, okay, we're gonna go through some of the racism right now, because there's job redlining. There is job redlining. And It's like because oh yeah, my parents, they faced racism, segregation. They grew up like during segregation. They went through desegregation. So it's just like I like when I say I've been through racism, I know what racism is. I know what it is because there was one job position where I like they noticed that my name came from Latin roots or whatever. And so they thought I was a little white girl. And since I guess like, well, most black men say I talk white. So I'm just going to say it's like because of how I speak, how I talk, and I'm very bubbly, very friendly, they pictured a white woman. So they called me up telling me how impressed they were with my resume and how they would love for me to come to the office and talk to them. But first, they gave me a phone interview and they were so enticed by my like poise and my ideas and my direction and my career goals and things like that, right? So they called me in for round two, my second interview. And so this meant they were going to see me face to face. And this is in a very high end city in my state, Michigan. Yeah, it's like, because it's really crazy how people are like, you're in the North, you're in Michigan. There's no racism in the North. Child, shut up. Okay, just be quiet. Stop. Don't. How do you show your privilege without showing your privilege? You have the nerve to say some stupid, ignorant, naive, just, eh, ooh, okay, anyway. So then I went to round two of my job interview. And if I sound like I have a little petty, I do. I have some petty today. It's just, I guess one reason I'm doing this episode because even while working on some of my projects and things like that, when when I'm on dating apps and they ask me certain questions and tell them about my books or my ideas, and men, white men and black men, but white men say that my characters have to be white or no one's going to read them, or they tell me I need not a ghostwriter, but I need to be the ghostwriter and have a white person. Like I actually had like this has happened a few times over the last 5 or 6 years or whatever, ever since I broke up with my ex. So it's been like okay, 4.5 years. But it's like I even had like so-called friends. Like one person that I thought was a close friend, but now I don't speak to them anymore after their ignorant comments. They all told me that I write the books, but then I go half and half with a white person and let them to be the face of the book so that it'll sell a lot. Yeah. Redlining business ideas, right? Showing how racist our country is, showing the racism and how people don't think much of African Americans. But then also with black men, they're just like, so if you're going to be working on that, when are you going to be making some babies? When are you going to have some kids? It's like you need to care more about having kids than you do looking at these books and like reading. Because I was working on, no, like, because there was one point where I was working at a school and one of the teachers said this to me and I was just in shock. It's but then even after I broke up with my ex over the last few years, like whenever like it was I don't know. And it's like that's the thing, like you guys tell me, why do a lot of men like are men that threatened? And the thing is, like, I'm a failure so far. So to me, I'm just like, okay, it's more like a hobby than it's like, yes, I want it to be a business, but you know what? Can I at least enjoy part of my life? Can I at least enjoy some parts of what I'm doing? It's like, Instead of just getting that 9 to 5 where I'm jumping when a boss says jump and doing as they command and stuff like that, why can't I do what I love to do? Why can't I do something that comes from the heart and is authentic and drives me? Why can't I live to live? And I'm not living in order to make someone else rich or make allow them to go on their fancy vacations and stuff. Why can't I work on something of my own that one day will help me be able to afford maybe not the same fancy vacations as the boss, but I can at least, do uh okay, I don't want to say like okay, I'll just say a less expensive version, because yeah, there was one company I was thinking about comparing it to, but I'm like, ooh, no, the plane might, no, something's gonna break down if I say that. So anyway, I won't be that petty. So anyway, I get ready for the job interview, and I do have to say that outfit slayed that day because I remember it's like, especially in the city that it was for the salary that I was going for, and how like they were highly impressed. Like they emailed me 2 or 3 times telling me how excited they were for me to come to the interview. And so I was like, okay, this is great. This is amazing because I want to say the salary with my bachelor, like I think I just started my master's. Yeah, yeah, I think I was like 1/3 in because I think I just no 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 no. I think I was a little over halfway done because I just finished my hospitality internship, and they got me a job, but it was a terrible, horrific job. Oh, I'll tell you stories about. Oh yeah, I'll tell you stories about that one. But I was so excited about it and everything. Like, no, no, no. Oh no, actually, I've been redlined 4 or 5 times because now I'm switching. Yeah, because yeah, okay, actually yeah, dang. Dang, but it was in the same city. It was in the same city. Oh, dang. Okay, anyways, backtrack. Okay, yeah, I was in the middle of like my job hunt, and I was working at the zoo. Yeah, because I just finished my bachelor's and I was working at the zoo because I couldn't find any other work. This was right before I started doing promotional modeling work. And so they send me a couple emails, 2 or 3 of them or whatever. And so I get to the interview and I'm so excited, go to the front desk, and who it's like, because even when I went through the entrance, there was like someone that I want to say they opened the door for me. It's like either it might have been security or whatever, but they opened the door for me and they were just like, oh, don't you look beautiful today? So it's like I already know I was on point. I was on point that day because almost every single door in that building, a man opened it for me. When a man was already on, like he was past the door, but he saw me and he went back to the door to open it for me. So I was just like, I'm slaying, I'm slaying, you know it, I'm slaying. Like I was just like, I know I'm on point for this position, and so, and it's like I'm not gonna say that I'm pretty or beautiful because like in high school, some boys did a little um prank or whatever. It's like it wasn't really a prank, it was evil, awful, terrible, stupid. But they made a list of the most ugly women or the most ugly girls, whatever. And I was number one. And they made sure that I knew I was number one. And they would trip me like I've told you some of the high school terrible moments of and how many guys would keep reminding me how ugly and terrible, like just terrible looking I was. And it's like I was a white girl wannabe and all of like, yeah. So I don't know, it's just like that day I felt pretty, I felt beautiful because like literally men were just like holding doors and all this other stuff and telling me that I looked beautiful and stuff like that. Or one guy even, it was like he was halfway joking, but he was like, "Ooh, why?" It's like, "Why don't I see a ring on that finger?" And it's like, so I mean, that one kind of caught me. I was just like, "Hold on, wait a minute, you offering?" You, you offering? And some might be wondering why I'm dipping and diving with the roots of my name and everything like that. Your name is yours, and how you got your name, the roots of your name, and things like that. And especially like while I write my books, when I name my characters, I make sure that the name has it it is part of them authentically and everything like that. And with names, some people like my ex, my no good, arrogant, stupid, my ex. And okay, maybe I'm not calling him stupid, but a lot of his thoughts and how he would literally tell me that the name isn't a big deal and shortening it because it's too difficult when okay, I don't have a stereotypical Caucasian European name. And that gets to the job interviews. When when I would say, "Oh, my name is Latin," then they automatically think, "Oh, that means I'm Latina," or I like, but they don't know of the Latin and the Greek history and the Latin history of the language and things like that, which I won't go over everything like that, but I just want to make sure that's why I'm putting that out there because especially the ignorance, the arrogance, and like even the one of the higher ups was just like, "Do you expect me to say your name every day? We're going to have to figure out what to call you." And so I'm going to have a whole episode on my name with job interviews and probably one about my names and relationships because some men didn't want to date me because of my name because they told me they were just going to nickname me or give me a pet name. And then I'm like, no, you're going to call me by my name. And then some were like, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to call you. Hold up. Oh, I am me. You are you. My name is my name. And so, I just have to throw that out there, just let you be fully informed. But yeah, it's like, and a lot of people don't know the history of Latin, Roman, Greek, and stuff like that. So it's just, yeah, that's why I slid that in there. But okay, back to it. Right back to it. Enjoy. Oh, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am real. I will show my face. Like I know some people are like, oh, I don't know if she's real or not. I don't know if this is AI or not. And it's like some of the messages that I get, I'm just like, are you for real? It's like I don't show my face because of all of the trolling and like I said, I was voted most ugly in high school, and with promotional modeling, people said some of the most evil, awful things about me, or even saying, "You don't look like a Barbie. You're too fat. You'll never succeed. You'll never be a true promotional model because you're fat. You're obese. You're like so." With me, it's just like showing my face. I'm literally throwing myself out to the wolves, throwing my face out to for people to judge me even more than how I've been judged all my life. So, anyways, okay, now back to it. Now back to it. But anyway, I knew he wasn't offering because he had a ring on his finger. So, okay. Yeah, just had to put that out. Okay. But I get in for the interview. They're shocked. They're shocked and they act like I tricked them. Like, no, I didn't trick you. You saw that my name has Latin roots. No, not Hispanic Latin, like Latin Greek, like no, like Latin back in the day, Latin. Okay, yeah, okay. I have to make sure. I just realized I have to make sure because some people might not like. Yeah, I mean, like, ye- uh, okay, you guys already know there's two, like, yeah. Like, just like there's Native American Indian and Middle Eastern Indian. Yeah, those are two different things, and there's two different types of, yeah, like back in the day, Okay, okay. Okay, because this is the type of Latin with the Romans and stuff like that. Okay, okay. Because, well, anyways, it's like for my cultural anthropology days, I'm just like, okay, let me make sure I lay that out just in case. But yeah, they all act so surprised and shocked, and I'm looking at them like, okay, yeah, this is going to be uncomfortable. But I see some other people that I guess are interviewing for the same position. We say hi, hello, blah blah blah, whatever. But then we're waiting for our turns and stuff like that. And one of the people, like, they go up to the front desk saying that they need to change, or can they interview faster, or can they go in earlier because they have somewhere where they need to be. And I thought that was kind of odd. And yes, that was a white female, but, or, Caucasian, palm colored, European American, And so next thing you know, the secretary is asking anybody, can they switch spots with them? And we're all looking at each other like, when we were on the phone, they gave us times and options. And it's like, now someone wants to switch, but they were sitting there like nothing, with like, they didn't get a phone call. I am like, what is going on? But then the receptionist she kind of looks at some of the people, but then she stops at me, and she's like, well, do you have anything else that you need to get done today, ma'am? And I'm looking at her like, why are you looking at me? Why are you pointing me out? Because, like, I'm the only person of color in that room. So part of me is just like, I know it's not like Finding Waldo, because like, I would be the easiest Finding Waldo game up in that place. But I'm like, excuse me, what? And so I just said, oh, I would just like to stick to the time that I'm supposed to be here. And she's like, oh, well, you're really going to help her out. It's like, can we just switch you two? And part of me is just like, well, if I came after her, then maybe I have a time like later. And if not, why did she come so early? Like, I don't. So anyway, the receptionist made her mind. She was like, okay, I'm just going to switch you two. Without, like, so I could be having something later, but it's like, she's automatically like, oh, you're going to do something nice. You're going to do something nice for her. And we don't care if you agree or not. And so that was kind of odd, kind of out there to me. But okay, so I go in, I have the interview, and the guy keeps double check. He was like, he's looking at my resume, and it kind of felt like Jeopardy or like a quiz show. So, when did you finish your degree? And when did you do this? And when did you it's like he didn't believe anything I had on my resume. So, or he thought that I made it up, so he felt like he had to double check every single detail and even go over the detail again. And then when I guess he looked at the address and he was just like, "Hmm, you live here? Tell me, what is that like, and how long have you been there? What part of a job, like, excuse me?" And so anyways, like, the job interview goes well but awkward, and I already know, I'm like, okay, I kind of doubt I get the position. But then anyways, fast forward, I got through that level or whatever, and so there's round 3, and the owner and 2 other people are in the room. And so I go to, and that's how that interview goes. And everything felt great. And the owner was like, you're the most qualified for this position. And it's like, I hear that you have like, you're very good at ideas and you're very creative, et cetera, whatever. But then he was like, it's going to be between you and another candidate. We might call you in for another interview. And they did exactly that. So it was between myself and a Caucasian male. And so we go in, and they They kept saying that I was the top candidate, and also like with my questions back, because I researched the company, and so I knew a lot about them, and I also knew a lawsuit that they had about 2 or 3 years prior. And so I asked them, like, what did you learn from this experience, and how are you going to change part of your business model to make sure that you don't get back into this? And I that shocked them. They were just like, oh, little Miss wanna Bing or Google or like Jeeves or whatever. Okay, you looked us up. And I'm like, yes, I did. Yes, I did. I did my homework. And so, anyway, they said they still couldn't make up their mind. And I'm okay with that. You don't have to fully make up your mind. But they did ask some questions about my race or nationality. They did ask me if I was mixed. They did try to ask me, like, this was different interviews, but they did ask me which one of my parents were white. They did ask me where I get my accent. And they did ask me where my parents are really from. And let's see, they asked a couple about my walking, but it's like this time it was mostly race that concerned me. And that's one, like, I knew that was one of the reasons why they were trying to find a reason not to hire me. And oh, it's like there was a few more questions about race that I'm trying to remember offhand. But like when I do another story time on it, because I can break, like, the way that this job interview went, I can break it down in so many ways. But I don't have enough time in this episode. But guess how? Just guess. I'll even give you a couple seconds, pause it. But guess how I did not get the position. Just guess. Just guess. Okay, so I hope you paused. I hope you paused. If not, pause it right now because I'm going to start telling you. They decided because they were like, you are so qualified, and we know that you are going to find so many other job offers. And we know that everyone else is going to want you. And so we feel like the other candidate, we might have more to train with him. But it's like we also saw that or noticed that you live 5 miles farther away than him. So you would have a harder, I think, like it was between 5 and 10. But I think it was closer to 5. But it's like, we feel like, it's like, why would you want to waste your gas when you're going to find a much better position and probably closer to home? So why don't you continue looking for a position to home, especially with your creative mind and all, like, because you are a great and amazing candidate. And you have impressed us greatly. But with the distance, we just think we're helping you. We're helping you. When they actually meant, we don't want a black person. We don't want you. We don't want you. We can't have a person of color at this rank, especially. They might be competition for our Caucasian other, like, candidates that are within our office and stuff. When it's time for promotion, we don't want to have to offer it to you. That's the truth. But we're too scared and ashamed to say what the truth is. So yeah, they went based off of mileage while telling me that everyone else is going to want to hire me, when in fact no one wanted to hire me. And like some of them, they would ask the same questions of, where are your parents really from? Which one of your parents are white? How did you talk like that? Where's your accent from? How do you speak so well or so good or so proper? I kept getting all of those questions. But anyway, this is the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too. And just know that I was going to be doing redlining with dating, but I didn't have enough time for that for this episode. So don't worry, I'm going to do that very soon. But I have quite a few episodes I need to upload, so that might be later in next week or the week after.